evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to our Veterans Medal Ceremony. I'm Bill Chegwidget, the Director of the Freeholder Board. This is Doug Cabana, Ann Grossi, Tom Masterangelo, John Murphy, Gene File, and Margaret Nordstrom. Behind them are Charlie Jurgensen and Pat Zakreski of the Morris County Veterans Service Office, who really, truly make the ceremony possible. So let's give them a round of applause. Now, if everybody be so kind and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This evening we are paying tribute to the Morris County veterans who served this community here and abroad. From our earliest days in America, we have the good fortune and blessed for men and women who make great sacrifices to defend the American people and our freedom and way of life. Many freedoms and treasures continue today and are defended by those of you over the years by your courage, actions, and many of you who are veterans here. Without question, we all owe you tremendous gratitude. Over the years, the Freeholders have shown our appreciation by presenting more than 9,000 Distinguished Medal Service Medals to our veterans who have served during conflicts in all over the world. This evening, we will add your list we'll add your name to the list, As you accept your medal, please know that Freeholders and all the residents of Morris County are extremely grateful for all the service, and particularly your patriotism and devotion to our nation that you have demonstrated. When your name is called, please come and accept your Distinguished Medal Service Medal. And if you have cameras, please take pictures. The late Richard L. Donnelly. Accepting the award on behalf of Richard Donnelly is his son, Brian. Richard Donnelly lived all his life in Butler and was an all-star football player at Butler High School. He was drafted in 1942 and flew a B-26 engine Mulatto bomber. Army Air Force veteran, flew a total of 27 missions in one forced landing in France. Because he was the only crew member that could speak French, he was able to get everyone back to the camp. He was a member of the 387th Bombardment Group, and his plane is in the United States Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio. Mr. Donnelly received the Air Medal with 1 silver cluster for his steadfast action on the B-26, and the European, African, Middle East Theater Medal with 3 battle stars. Upon his return to the U.S., he attended St. John University, St. Bonaventure University, and later owned several businesses in Butler. Richard Donnelly. John Amacucci. Was drafted in 1967. Following basic training and advanced infantry training, he did a tour of Vietnam from 1967 to 1968. His infantry duty was to patrol the Mekong Delta, and he encountered the fierce fighting during the Tet Offensive that began in January of 1968. Mr. Amacucci lost 20 of his close friends in war and paid his respects to the Veterans Memorial in our nation's capital as often as possible. He received the battle ribbons, including the Compact Infantry Badge, and his last 6 months of duty was at Fort Benning, Georgia, where he trained Army Rangers for the tour in Vietnam. John Amacucci. David Dawes was born in Texas and came to Denville in 1961 from Hulls, New York, and Bergenfield, New Jersey. He volunteered for the Air Force in 1966, and after basic training, he was stationed at England Air Force Base in Los Angeles, where he worked as a security police and had top security clearance. He then went to South Asia, and from 1968 to 1969, he was stationed at the Air Force Base in Thailand. When he returned to the United States, he was stationed in Hanscom Field, Bedford, Massachusetts, and was discharged in 1970. Mr. Dawes earned the Vietnam Ribbon, 2 Bronze Stars, and a Marksman Ribbon. Upon his return to Morris County, he attended Fairleigh Dickinson University, Morris County Technical School, County College of Morris, and worked as an apprentice plumber. In 1976, he started his own business in Denville. David Dawes. Thomas Mitchell. And while in college, he enrolled in the ROTC program. When he graduated in 1967, he was commissioned as second lieutenant in the Army Field Artillery. After training, he was assigned to Fort Dix and served as the second lieutenant training officer of Basic Training Company in the 2nd Brigade. He was then promoted to first lieutenant, took command of the Alpha Company, 5th Battalion, 2nd Brigade, and was later promoted to captain. He was assigned to the 2nd Brigade headquarters, Brigade Adjunct, where he was directed the personnel and staffing of 3,000 men brigade for 9 months until separation from service in September 1970. Captain Mitchell was awarded the Army Commendation Medal for meritorious service by a commanding general. He obtained 2 master's degrees by taking advantage of the educational benefits afforded to him at the time under the GI Bill. He is a Morristown resident who credits his military experience for his success in the corporate career he spent here in Morris County in Nabisco and Xerox before retirement. Thomas J. Mitchell. David S. Ricucci. He joined the Navy in 1964 as a reservist and then decided to enlist. He was trained as a mechanic and worked on the Skyward aircraft, a strategic bomber that flew off the aircraft, the USS Ticonderoga. In 1964, Congress passed the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution, which granted President Johnson the authority to assist any Southern Asian country whose government was considered to be in jeopardy of communist aggression. Because there were so many planes being used in the region, which included the Gulf of Tonkin, Mr. Ricucci recalls the stress involved in keeping all these aircraft in good operating order. He received a number of commendation medals for his service, and after he left the Navy in 1966, he was employed at Ally Single. David Ricucci. This one's a little special for me because this is the student I had sophomore year. I'm a history teacher at Marsh Knolls High School. So this is one of my former students. John Carlos Breezy. John Carlos left Rockford Township and joined the Marine Corps Reserve Unit at a Picatinny Arsenal after high school in 2007. He was deployed to Iraq in September of 2008 as a machine gunner. He and his unit patrolled the Iraq-Syrian border, looking for smugglers crossing the Iraq with drugs and weapons. The region is vast and includes Syrian and Jordan border. In addition to the Marines, it takes a lot of Iraqi police officers, vehicles, and fuel to patrol this region. In a territory that's rough with few roads, they picked on him to put his driving skills. They didn't pick on him. They put his driving skills into play. He was assigned the task of leading the convoys through their missions. He received many campaign rewards for his service in Iraq. He currently works at Citrus and is subject to a redeployment. John Carlos Breezy. This is the first time that we've given an award to a general. Retired Brigadier General William J. Marshall III. Brigadier General William Marshall joined the National Guard in 1965 and later graduated from candidate school. He has commanded a tank company, combat support company, 2 tank battalions, and the 1st Brigade, 50th Armored Division, headquarters at Fort Dix. He served on battalions, brigades, division staff, and in both intelligence and operations, promoted to the rank of Brigadier General in 1999. He now serves the Assistant to the Adjutant General of New Jersey. His military decorations include the Legion of Merit, the Meritorious Service Medal with Silver Oak Leaf clusters, the Army Commendation Medal, the National Defense Medal, the Desert Storm Ribbon, the New Jersey Medal of Merit, and the New Jersey Medal of Honor. He resides in Lake Apacon. He is also a member of the Candidates Hall of Fame. He graduated from Robert Williams University with a degree in Public Administration and from the Port Authority Police College at West Point. He also completed his senior executive program in National and International Security at Harvard Kennedy School at Harvard. Retired Brigadier General William J. Marshall III. William E. O'Brien. William E. O'Brien joined the Air Force in 1954 and was trained as an aircraft mechanic. He then joined the Kansas Air Guard until 1960. Then the Kansas Guard as a sergeant in weapons platoon. He signed up for officer candidate school and graduated as a second lieutenant. He advanced to captain in the Armored Division of the New Jersey National Guard and joined the newly formed 11th Special Force Group at Camp Kilmer, New Jersey. He qualified as a team leader, a jump master, a pathfinder, and a senior paratrooper. After leaving Special Forces in 1979, he was promoted to major and serves active duty in clandestine and non-clandestine operations. Mr. O'Brien retired from the Army Guard as a lieutenant colonel, but still can be called active duty, was recalled to active duty in Operation Desert Storm. His favorite saying, which appears on his business card, is, "Been there, done that." James O'Brien. Okay. This is another student of mine, Adrian Rivas. Adrian Rivas is a Morris Knowles graduate who joined the Marines in 2006. He was trained in engineering and was sent to Okinawa, Japan, with the 3rd Marine Division. He was later deployed to Afghanistan, supporting combat patrols and working to eradicate poppy fields in Manja, the region that has the highest fields in all of Afghanistan. And because the Taliban is funded through the movement of opium, the operation continues today. Mr. Rivas of Dover also volunteered as a pallbearer duty on his base. This is the unit that brought home Marines who were killed in action to transport aircraft, which after full military ceremony took them back to the United States and their families. He has received many Marine medals and awards, but he's most proud of his Navy Commission Medal from the Secretary of Navy for his platoon leadership and for distinguishing himself in several operations. He is currently taking criminal justice courses at County College of Morris. Adrian Rivas. Mose Ramirez. This is his mother, Margarita, who's a Morris County employee. Mose Ramirez is a graduate of Morris Hills High School. He joined the Marines in 2009. After advanced infantry training in the 2nd Marine Division in Jacksonville, North Carolina. He underwent chemical and biological training in Missouri. He is also trained in nuclear fallout decontamination, which led him to the 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing in California, and then to a helicopter squadron where he was involved in all phases of aviation. Mr. Ramirez from Wharton has been trained in hazmat cleanup operations and is also an instructor at rifle and pistol ranges at various locations. He plans to return to New Jersey from California and pursue his college education. Mose Ramirez. Arthur E. Tokel. From New Hampshire, and after high school, graduated in 1970 and joined the Army National Guard, where he rose to the rank of sergeant. In 1974, he graduated from the New Hampshire Military Academy Commission as the Army's 2nd lieutenant and received an assignment as liaison officer to the Defense Department. He moved to New Jersey and joined the 2nd Battalion, 102nd Armored Division for the New Jersey National Guard, where he served as the company commander of operation officer. In 1989, he was promoted to major and accepted an assignment as a liaison and advisor to the Republic of Germany in Desert Storm. He retired from his military as a major after 20 years. Growing up in New Hampshire, he became an expert skier, and today, he coaches the U.S. ski jumping team. He also operates a consignment shop, ski equipment at Hidden Valley. Arthur E. Tokel. Samuel Torres here? Okay. Vilmer Valblema. Is a native of Colombia, South America. After he graduated from high school there, he was encouraged to move to the United States by his father, who said this was the land of opportunity. Vilmer took his father's advice and joined the Army in 2006. He did not speak any English when he arrived here, so the Army sent him to school in Texas to learn the language. He later was sent to Kuwait with the 8th Brigade, 104th Transportation Company, whose mission was to receive military assets after the frontline troops have accomplished their goal. He achieved the rank of Specialist E4 and is now reserve duty with the 465th Transportation Company out of Bristol, Pennsylvania, and is subject to recall. The Army has assisted him in expediting his citizenship and is now helping him bring his mother to the States as quickly as possible. He is very grateful for the assistance that he's received and says he wants to repay this country as much as possible for the kindness that it has shown him and his family. Gilbert A. Balboma. That was our last recipient of the evening. Now our program is now over. I'd like to thank everyone for coming. And I'd like to give you one round of applause for every veteran. If we could please have all the vets come up, we'd like to take a picture of you also. Thank you, once again, thank you for coming. Oh yeah, we have one more thing. Mr. O'Brien would like to give an award tonight. Mr. O'Brien, you can have the mic.
I'll make this very short. I have been working on this for the last couple of years. I've been helping with these awards and been close friends. And what I have here is a military challenging coin. It's not a memorial coin or something like that, which you get at Walt Disney. It's a military challenging coin. What it is, when you go into a military post or into a bar or something, you don't have a coin, you buy around at the bar. And it says on the back of it, it's a Special Forces challenging coin. It says, to my friend, Charlie Jefferson, Lieutenant Colonel William O'Brien, United States Special Forces.
So never to be outdone by Bill O'Brien. I too have my General Officer's coin, which I would like to present to Charlie. Ironically, I was here when a half dozen people received this award that had served with my dad in World War II. And I was just amazed at what the freeholders have done here. And you are to be congratulated. You know, it's not often you get a politician that says we're doing it over and over and over again and doing it right. So you folks have done a marvelous job, and you're to be congratulated. On behalf of everyone that was here tonight that wears uniform, and all of those that have gone before us that have worn the uniform, they say that they also serve who stand and wait.